Now that you've completed cleaning and maintenance of your Ruger M77 Mark II or M77 Hawkeye bolt-action rifle, we want to show you how to properly reassemble your firearm. To start, you want to make sure that the rifle is completely unloaded. Begin by placing the safety selector detent and detent spring, flared end in first on the spring, in the hole in the receiver. Set the safety selector in place with its upper section positioned over the center of the receiver tang. Holding the safety selector in place, apply downward pressure. Tap the safety selector retainer into the dovetail from the top. Align the notch in the safety selector retainer with the Sear pivot pinhole. Now place the rear end of the Sear into the slot from the top of the receiver and install the cross pin. Put the safety into the fire position. Next, place the trigger Sear spring over the dimple in the trigger. Assemble the trigger while aligning the spring with the dimple on the Sear. While holding the trigger in position, insert the trigger pivot pin. Now let's get the stock back on. First, install the magazine box in the receiver. Replace the trigger guard and loosely install the rear trigger guard screw. Install the floor plate hinge assembly and firmly tighten the screw. This screw needs to be tightened to 95 inch-pounds. That's inch-pounds, not foot-pounds of torque. That equals 7.92 foot-pounds of torque. Tighten the two trigger guard screws by alternating between each, a partial turn at a time, so that both will be tightened equally. Next, screw the firing pin assembly into the bolt. Turn beyond the detent, remove the finishing nail, and turn the bolt shroud and cocking piece assembly back to the detent where it will stop. Open the bolt stop and install the bolt back into the rifle. Once your rifle is fully assembled, give it a function check before you load any cartridges. Make sure it's pointed in a safe direction. Cycle the bolt a few times and dry fire the unloaded rifle. Also, you want to check the 3-position safety. If everything's in good working order, you've done a good job thanks to this Ruger Tech tip.